morning, everybody, and happy Wednesday. Happy FOMC day to those who celebrate. If you're with me in the Discord or in the YouTube chat, go ahead and say what's up. Let's see who's with us this morning. Who's here already? Good morning to you. Yuri, Fat Guy, Sadek, Big Sexy in the house. SWJQ, Amateur Genius. Thank you for sharing that. More to you, Red Bird, Gold Chess Club, Fat Guy JQ. Good morning, Luna, Bia, Kelvin, Cash Jack, Valentine, Cyrus, Gold Chess Club, Julius, Cash Jack, Ferrari Phil, Fat Citizen. Good morning to you, Chris, Darren, Fran, Scott Toshi, Luke, Flyer Jim. Good morning, Nick H, G-Lines, July Peppers, Trader Page, Christopher, Coach Hoop, Gringo El Diablo, Ripsmod, good morning. DM, Justin Prowse, Headbanger, Mikkel, Fat Guy Out West, good morning. Crypto Trades, War Brian, Paolo, Ripper Trader, Milo, Anita, Anita Low. Morning, Richard, Birdseed, Randy, Bahal's Deep. Good morning, Rock Solid Results. Those might be correlated. Morning, Rhino America, Itai, Pai, Lido, Sunrise Driver, Nadi, Caprice, Eduardo, Faro, Colby, Jose, Cuervo, Rafal. Good morning to you, BBC Firm, TMP3, Greg, Adam, Skunked Ape, A-List Party Music, Ron D. Heartland, Edward, Doug, Poppy, Arrow Squad. Good morning. What's happening? What's shaking? Market is trending down. I wonder if we're gonna refill that ASML print. Huge green candle there. Lots of volume on that thing too. A lot of displacement. I'm sure that some folks are piling in short here. Yeah, go ahead and hit that like button. Let's go for it today. Tell you what, if we get it up to 1,500 likes, we'll definitely do an FOMC stream today. We'll do a simulcast broadcast where we watch the press conference together and potentially trade on it. But I'll be honest with you, I'm not really looking to be risky today and take a whole mess of trades. Because I feel like, what I was thinking about this morning is this. We've had a tremendous amount of volatility in these last two sessions, and those had nothing to do with FOMC. To think that FOMC is the only session where we're going to have amazing opportunities to trade is ridiculous. And I feel like if we can avoid taking a massive amount of risk today on what is going to be a very violent session, in my opinion, maybe we just kind of skip over it. Let's all hope Thompson fix this ridiculous issue. What's going on? What's the issue? Talk to me. I don't know of any issues. I haven't pressed any buttons today, so maybe there are some issues, but I don't know of any. Like bot engaged. If there is a like bot, we're gonna not do any FOMC stream. Morning, Billy. Morning, Berlinda. HD Fid. Charles Harris, good morning. Your brother, where's your brother been, Charles? Miss Richard. FOMC is at 2 p.m. Eastern time today. Account showing closing dashboard, but should not be. What's up, Travis? What's up, Coach Hoop? Happy FOMC day. No like bots, please. Ribs, you see big orders at 6:30? I mean, nothing crazy. Sounds just like some slower server stuff should be fixed quickly. Nice. On Bookmap, you can only see limit orders, not stop orders, right? If you have the MBO package, you're not going to see stop orders until they're executed. There's no way to see resting stop orders. That's impossible. But you will see stop orders executed if they are stop orders, iceberg orders as part of the MBO package. But you'll never be able to see resting stop orders. I was actually in touch with my broker yesterday talking about certain algorithmic orders that I want to be running when I start to size up on my personal account. Right now I'm trading 20 contracts on my personal account, 20 to 25 I guess now. Started out with 5 or 10. We've been doing really well on the personal account. So the goal is to scale up to 50 and then 100 contracts eventually. But to do that, I want to be able to run icebergs. I want to run TWAP algorithms, spray orders, some various other algorithmic type of executions. There's a platform for that, institutional platform, that I might be looking into. So we'll see. But right now, still executing on TradingView. Morning to you, Michael Beggs. Have you ever traded that many contracts before? Yeah, the very first time I ever traded NASDAQ, it was on TD Ameritrade, and I traded 25 contracts and completely got wrecked very quickly. I think I lost 25 to 50 grand like day one. Because I was like, yo, what is this? What's this futures thing? Yeah, right now we're trading a fifth of the size. 100 contracts would be a lot. You know, there's brokerages will have special requirements once you get over 100 contracts. Although my margin requirements are already set pretty high, which I kind of like because it keeps me out of trouble. You know, I don't know if my results would have been the same if I was already trading 30, 50 contracts, you know? But right now we're trading betwixt 5 and 20 contracts, depending on the position and how well we're doing. Institutional platform is called CG, what is it? CQG Integrated Client is what it's called. What's up, Mr. Bugs? How you doing? Yellow line is VWAP. That is the VWAP. You're sending it right back through those that ASML print. Anybody short in this market right now? I mean, we're coming back into that value range. We're looking over here. We're coming back into the value of yesterday. Double distribution of value yesterday. Very interesting. Right now, leaving value. I wonder if we're going to retest. What would be really nice is a retest of value, and then be sick. FOMC really is an interesting day to trade because sometimes you get very few opportunities until 2 p.m. Sometimes you get some spared opportunities, you know, spotty opportunities. Sometimes you get a decent warm up into FOMC. Sometimes it's just dead. Right now, looks like a decent opportunity. I didn't expect that. I would have taken that if I expected that. I wasn't expecting that. But what we can see on FOMC itself too is like a nice congruent singular move. Last FOMC was kind of wishy-washy. One before that kind of wishy-washy. So today is that day where you really want to expect the unexpected. My VWAP is anchored to session, although on the one that we just had up, I didn't do the refreshing thing. So there we go. Now we're back to business. See my VWAP settings right here. We're using HLC3 and session for the anchor period. Looks like we're going to be testing those 600s. This could be a lot of false breakouts as range sets in. Very well could. We're definitely trading inside value now, yesterday's value. I wonder if we trade all the way down to 550 or so. Wow, be insane. Good morning, Von Micros. How are you? Morning, Ken. C. Mark Hammett. Morning, Moises. How do you find the value range? You can do that with, there's a whole mess of indicators, but you have like a session volume profile and you just define value as like 70% of where most of the volume was traded. That's how you can look at it. That's one way to define value. I think I'm using 70%. Oh, I'm using 60%. Let's see what happens if I change that to 70. It's a little bit more interesting. You can, it's really up to you. It's your world, however you want to live in it, you know? Some people use 60%, 50%, 70%, 80%, whatever you want. Short on coffee, need more. What's your average? Dang, Ferrari Phil. Sick work. Are you choosing to trade one account today for FOMC or any or none, or what you thinking? We need to get coffee to trade. Do we not have coffee on Top Step? No, we don't. Coffee futures, right? Well, make sure you're hitting that lucky like button, folks. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, hit that lucky like button. We are bouncing right now at those 600s. I'll be right back with you, folks. Don't go anywhere. And we are back. That was a nice little bounce. Back up to about 620 there. Nice little rejection there off of that, what we were talking about. Back into that value area a little bit. So we do have some data this morning. We have wholesale inventories, I think. Isn't that the one that's coming out this morning? Let me check my schedule. Wholesale inventories and advanced goods trade balance. That's what's going to be coming up. We get the Bank of Canada reporting their interest rate decision at 9:45. And then the FOMC after that. So it's going to be a very interesting day. I wonder what's going to happen if we break these 600s. Kind of want to try a little snapacito trade here. Especially since the S&P looks like it wants to go a little bit lower. It looks like it wants to tag like 60, 80. Boom. Let's see here. I'm gonna try a little short. Move this up to 21. 2 contracts. I want to add to this too. If we pump up to like 12s, limit sell 2 more contracts here. See what happens if we get this little snapper dinger. Oh, there's a first little snappers. Can we get through the 90s? Is the question. I'd love to see this fade all the way to value at 546. Would be lovely. See this break through those 90s. S&P is really coming down. There we go. Heyo. Let's see another little refresh rejection here up at these 90s. That would be lovely. All right, adding to that. I want to see this smashing through these 80s. A little bit at 85. If we break through that, I want to add 51 bid stack. Let's see. Getting a little pumpy and jumpy here. Bid stack right at 85. Adding to that. Taking a lot of this overhead liquidity, which I don't mind. I want to see us sweeping down towards this lower liquidity. I want to see us rejecting at those 600s as well. There we go. Nice little sweep. See us through those 90s now. And then taking out this 85 player. Let's get through this guy. What do we say? Watching 85. Let's try to lean on this player. Boop. I pushed on him with 1 contract. There we go. Oh, come on, get through these 80s. Oh, shoot, sorry. Didn't even see what's on the screen output here. There's 5 out. Take that, put that out. than that there. Cool. We're cruising. Two out right here. I don't know why that's not moving. There we go. Filled two. So we're at least guaranteed $2,000 on this trade. Remember, our target on this is 46. Yeah, 46. Pew, 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 pew. Little restriction there at those 70s. Let's see if we can get filled this Juan guy. A lot of pressure right here. I'll take one more out right here. A little stack. See some people jumping in at like 77. Our stop is right here at 89 if they want to come get it. Oh, no, they don't. All right, up 2,600. Move my stop rate to break even at 85 now. Oops. Hold on, sorry. Ooh, it's dancing. Oh, it's dancing, all right. Little value to value play. No, this is not our personal, unfortunately. This is just Tops Up live funded. It wasn't me, I promise. No. I'm not, no trades in my personal. It's too much to manage doing two at once. So I just choose one or the other. I wish I was hitting this in my personal. Be lovely. We still got up to 10 contracts, which I don't mind at all. So we did trade a little bit better than regular size. Anybody else catch this? On YouTube, Discord, anybody? JQ caught it. Hey, that's my guy. Shelly, Jose, Dan got it. Nice. Nice work, everybody. Absolutely caught it and added. Nice. That's a beautiful little flushecito there. Nice, Thomas. Nice wildfire. Sorry for having the screen like this earlier. Sometimes I'm so locked in and focused. There we go. All right, so we're out. $2,600. 2,670 clams on that trade. If you caught that one, go ahead and toss a W in the chat. That's always good. I like having a stress-free-ish trade before FOMC starts. Nice work, everybody. Hey, look at those dubs. Nice, nice, nice.
That's what we call a sack lunch.
Num, 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 num. Indeed, we do. That is definitely a sack lunch trade right there. So going back to the charts, we left value area. We were trading for the break of 600s, nice hold number, which was the close of value there. You can see our distribution of value ended right about 600. So if we're leaving that value, the next target for value is right around here. Obviously, I want to trail stops because we're using, you know, Top Step Live Funded account, which has a fixed drawdown limit of $3,000. So I want to get the clams that I can get. On a personal account, I probably have a little bit more risk tolerance on that. I'd probably leave my stop at break even until we got, well, actually probably right around there. Well, I'd probably move my stop somewhere right around there and we'd probably be tagged out right about now. So maybe we make a little bit more or less on our personal account there. But trade idea is the same. If you didn't catch this, you're looking for rebound bounces. Unfortunately, I didn't catch the best rebound bounce, which was right around 614 or so. But still, the idea is the same. We put on the trade, we let it work. We put our stops where it makes sense. And that's that. That's all we do. Anybody have any questions about that trade? Just using the volume profile to dictate where is value? Where was value traded? Right? And this is another good information bit here where we have a double distribution of value right there and right there. the Grand Tetons of value. And you can see the fixed point of control based on value is right there, and that's what we're targeting there. You can see here in this volume profile based on what our viewport shows, it should match up quite nicely here. Wait for it. There you go. See? Beep, boo. There it is. So value to value trade. One thing we also want to be watching for is that when we're looking at Bookmap, the exchange that comes down to this level here defines a new area of temporary value. Above 570, there are strong bids stepping in looking to hold the price back, or we assume they're covering shorts. How many orders is that? Well, we're looking at about just under 1,000 there. But if we go up top here, we find order matching for 1,000 contracts up here. Not quite, so we look higher. Ah, we found them. There's where we have the order matching of the other 1,000 contracts. So we can assume that, at least temporarily, somebody was covering down here. So that's our new value area to break, 570. If we don't break that, we can assume that the market's going to continue to trend back up. But here we come, testing that 570 level again. We wouldn't have gotten tagged out on our personal if we put our stop at 600. So let's see if this trade continues to work to the downside here. All right, trade balance coming out in about 1 minute. Let's see how this works out here. The wholesale inventories and trade balance are coming out here. We're expecting month over month at 0.2%. And the advanced goods trade balance, we are expecting negative 105.5. It's going to be interesting to see if the talk on tariffs has had any effect on that just yet. I don't think it will, but let's see what the data tells us, shall we? Are you going to use this win as drawdown for the FOMC trade? What's your default drawdown? My drawdown is $3,000, so I have about $6,000 now to work with. But you know how I've traded FOMC so many times, and I'm usually left quite unsatisfied. So I might just skip it today. Oh snap, look at that. National max payout locked in. So trade balance coming in lower, so much lower, negative 122 billion versus a negative 105 billion estimate. Wholesale inventory is coming in at negative 0.5, which is 0.7 lower than expected at 0.2. The market should be having some sort of battle here around 95 or 605. Depending on how strong this bounces. Alexander says, as you said, volatility has been good to us. No need to mess with FOMC. I'm with you on that one. I was happy that we caught that nice break of 600 trade there. Good for about 20 points or so. Always good to catch a winning trade early, especially on a day like today where expectations can be running a little bit hot. What news document you using to keep up on date on trades? I'm not sure I follow. Let's see here. Hey Rips, Tradeify seems to be a good prop firm. I recommend them a lot. I've never used them before, but that could be something we try out. Most of my successful momentum trades are the ones taking with Rips. Oh, that's cool. Good for you, man. I always recommend never, ever, ever following me onto trades, obviously. But if you have the same trade idea that I do, hey, maybe we could share that idea together and make some money together, you know? Just activated a new PA. Let's not screw this one up. Okay. It's all up to you. I mean, if you can have the wherewithal to not trade on a day like today, well, then you'll probably fare a lot better. Let's see what happens testing these 70s once more. As expected, we are breaking through on that test, still eyeing that value area of 46. Well, 49. Looks like it might be delivered if anybody's still in that short there. Is there any specific news short? I have a bunch of squawks in my ear. Now, squawks can be a little bit expensive. They can add up if you have multiple squawks. I do recommend that if you do want to try out a squawk service, find one with a free trial. But do remember, 90% of the people out there that do try squawks are probably not going to enjoy using them. They're very much an acquired taste. A lot of people don't like the noise in their ears all day, and that's generally what it is. Oh, Richard Harris, there you are. Haven't seen you around lately. Good morning to you, buddy. It's better to make money at the open and watch everyone else. I don't want to see people burning. I want to see big P&Ls today on Twitter, on X. I'd love to see people thriving. Speaking of big P&Ls, I saw two very notable traders being moved to live accounts with like 450K and 650K. Wowzers. Insanity. Whereas, you know what happened during midnight on NQ? Why did it jump? ASML earnings. And I have not answered. That's the first time somebody's asked. ASML earnings. And the reason why is because ASML has a contagion effect with other chip makers, semis in the market. It was Richard Harris. He pressed the buy button, as you know. Rose, what is the volume on your right side? I know you've said it before, but I'm thinking of trying it. It is the volume profile. Visible range volume profile, or volume profile visible range. Either way you look at it. What happened to Rafa? I have no idea. No clue. But I've seen lately Kai, and then two other contenders who are just like mollywopping the markets. Very cool to see that. Willie says, one thing I've learned as a newbie is that the market owes me nothing, so if I can have green before FOMC, out for the day until I develop more confidence. Also, you got to reshape your thinking, especially on a day like today. I think it's a good time to talk about when you're trading, stop thinking about how much money you're going to make on a trade and instead think about how much you can actually lose on that trade. So when you're opening a trade, like I opened that trade and my initial fixed loss is about $2,000 on that trade, which gives me, room to look at it and say, okay, if this trade goes awry on the initial onset of the trade, I'm willing to lose about $2,000, which gives me, about $1,000 worth of drawdown left on the day, which is not a lot, but hey, it's something. And that's how I'm looking at framing my trade once I open it. Obviously, when I start to get into the momentum of things, I'm going to adjust the stop if I need to later. But, I'm eyeing the momentum, my fingers on the flatten all button. I'm looking for, how I can manage my risk effectively in that trade. You can see when we added to the trade, when we popped up and the trade went against us, we didn't really take that much heat on it. But if we continue to take heat, I'm willing to close the trade and take it off. But the point is that I think that a lot of you folks out there can benefit from the idea that you ought to be looking at what am I actually willing to risk on a trade? It's one thing that's been so apparent to me ever since I've been trading on my personal brokerage account, which I started, I think, on January. Let me see. When did I actually start this account? Dude, these tunes are rocking, by the way. I started that account on the 16th. When was my first trade? Maybe on the 17th? Yep, first trade was on the 17th for $51. $51. So technically, I really started trading it, I think, on the 21st, which would make a whole mess of sense. Yeah, 21st, I made about 10 grand. So I've been trading this account for the last 8 days, and it's one of the things that became apparent to me that I think is worth talking about. Stop looking at how much money you're going to make on a trade and instead start managing how much risk you're willing to take on a trade. Because if you're looking at how much money you're going to make on a trade, you're probably going to be really shortchanging yourself in the long run. Because you're going to be disappointed when you lose. When you lose a trade, you're going to be sitting there and saying, I should have made X. What is your live account size? Are we talking about my top step or my personal? I don't know which one we're talking about. I'm personally talking about my personal right now. But really, honestly, the next time you're putting on a trade, start thinking about how much you're willing to risk on a trade versus I'm going to make $1,000 on this trade. Or wouldn't it be nice if I'm going to make $2,000 on this trade? Like, I have no idea what I was going to make on that trade right there, but I know what I'm willing to risk. It's about $2,000. If you would have asked me, hey, I'll bet you $1 billion that you can't call out the number of your trade that you're going to make, the amount of money that you're going to make on that trade, I probably agree with you. Like, I have a target in mind. 46 is the target, but if my stop is getting adjusted and I'm trading the momentum, I'm trying to get as many points as I can. I don't know exactly how much I'm going to make on that trade. I have an idea. I want my risk to be, 1.5 to 1. That's about a 1.25 to 1, right? Or 1.5, basically 1.5 to 1. But that's what you need to be focusing on when you're taking these trades, because if you're focused on what the reward for your trade is, you're not going to be accepting of a loss when it comes. Versus if you frame your mindset, think about this. You frame your mindset when you're putting on that first lot, that opening contract. You frame this as, I'm willing to risk $1,000. Guess what happens to that frame of mind? Okay, I'm willing to risk $1,000. You get stopped at a $1,000 loss and you go, well, that sucks, but that's exactly what I was willing to risk. Because you know what this overwrites is that part of your brain, because I remember doing this as a new trader. I talk about that Tesla story all the time. I lost $90,000 trading Tesla in one session because I was an idiot. Still am an idiot, but I'm less of an idiot now. But if you frame your mindset with, I'm willing to risk $1,000 on this trade, and then it comes up, stops you out, you lose $1,000, it's going to stop you from being that person that says, okay, I'm going to start to bargain with myself. The trade's going against me. I didn't realize how much I was willing to risk on this trade. Now I'm down $1,000, and then you start to bargain. You say, well, I'm already down $1,000 on this trade. What's another $500 for me to lose on this trade? And then it goes worse, and then you're down $1,500 unrealized, and you say, okay, well, I'm already down $1,500 unrealized. Maybe we can stretch it to $2,000 because, hey, why not? F it. The old f it attitude comes out, right? I promise you that you're going to lose a heck of a lot less if you frame out what your loss is willing to be on that trade, and you're going to feel a lot less guilty about it when it actually does hit that loss. Because guess what? As a trader, you're going to lose a lot, dude. You're going to lose all the time. You're going to have green streaks, they're going to last. You're going to have red streaks, they're going to last. But in between that, you're going to have a healthy mix of winning trades and losing trades. And if you can't accept that, get the f out of trading. Because trading is going to have a healthy mix of wins and losses. And you need to learn how to be accepting of those losses and understanding that they're going to happen quite a bit. I promise you. Do you think we are reversing? Not necessarily. I think we're just kind of washing around down here. A reversal comes at a retake of the value area, right? So what we'd want to see is a healthy retake. Ideally, value area low is at 94. Retake of, well, come on. There we go. Retake of that and then gone. Something like that would be what I'm looking for a reversal. Take more time in setting up your trades too. I understand that, when I trade momentum, it doesn't look like I have any idea of where I'm jumping into the market or whatever. But there's definitely a method to the madness, and there's certain areas that I'm watching of the market, and once they retest, break, or have some push in the right direction that I'm looking for, I'm going to jump into that trade. If you stop taking trades willy-nilly and you actually look to where you're wanting to set up your trades, one of the things that you could do is, like, if you're having a lot of trouble framing your trades. For instance, like you're getting into trades and you don't know why you got in. Once you get in, you're regretting it. Well, let's say that you get into a trade. Why don't you map it out first? So like you can see, okay, there's my loss. I'm going to enter on the break of that. And then my target is going to be somewhere like that. And then you can see, okay, does my risk reward make sense on something like that? It's 1-to-1. I want to do better. Okay, let's frame our stop a little bit higher, like right there. Okay, now we're at a 2-to-1 risk. That makes sense for me. So if we get above that level, which is right there at 612, we get above that level, we start breaking above that. Now I have a 2-to-1 trade framed out. And you could be sitting here hawking this thing, or you can even put out orders, you know, add an order to that level and say, okay, let's get a stop buy and then a TP here. You know, find something that works for you where you're not just jumping into the markets willy-nilly. Make sense? The first fixed range you pulled is yesterday's range, and the second one is today. Yes, these are the value ranges from today and yesterday. I'm just using a session volume profile for that, fixed session volume profile. Right now we are rejecting at those 90s. We didn't even get close to retaking those 600s. Didn't even get close to 94, which is the value low. Which trading view indicator is best at showing IB high and IB low? I'm not sure. It's good to draw those out on your own to start, I would say. You mean I can't have the 100% win rate that my guru promised me? No. I mean, you take a good trader, somebody like Dakota, their win rate is quite low, but they don't let their losses get out of control, and they let their winners get out of control to the top side or bottom side if they're short. That's the secret. G-Line says, I've locked up my Top Step X and Blue Sky accounts. Y'all have a great day. Thank you, G-Lines. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm probably, we're going to see what happens here off the open, but I'm from the camp today that I'm probably not going to touch my personal account today, and I'm probably not going to trade anymore on my Top Step X account. Much rather probably trade the Afterglow tomorrow and see what happens. Yeah, Best Loser Wins. That's a great book. Fantastic book about the psychology of trading here. TTBZ says, I once watched Dakota in an overnight trade up 7,000, just chilling. I would have closed so fast. Well, that's the thing too, is that if you're so focused on the P&L of your trade, maybe change your readout to ticks or points, and then that way you're more so focused on the idea of the trade. Like I said earlier, when we get down to 46, if I have 10 contracts on, it's going to be for more than 50 points. Maybe I make a bunch of money on that trade, but it has to get down to that area. I'm more so focused on the amount of points or ticks that I'm getting on that trade. Hey Rebs, how do I get a fixed session volume profile on Top Step X? Let's see if they have one. Volume. Okay, so switching this over. Volume profile fixed range. That's what you'd want to add to your chart. How do you add that? That's a great question. There you go. Yeah, I guess you have to draw it. I don't know if they have that on Top Step X. The one I use over on TradingView, this is the one I'm more comfortable with. Session Volume Profile HD. That's the one I use. Which 3 moving averages are the best use, and what color should we keep it on? I mean, it's all personal preference. Some folks like the 9, the 20, the 50. Some folks want the 20, the 50, the 200. It's whatever works for you. Find moving averages that work for you. And some people use SMAs versus EMAs. Find the ones that are respected the most for your style of trading and use them. I use the 9, the 20, and the 50. Or I'm sorry, the 9, the 20, the 50, and the 200, actually. Because I found that's what works best for my style of trading. Unfortunately, so many people are broke and need the money now, so focus on P&L a lot. Instead, keep growing accounts. Enjoy being broke until you're profitable and a good trader. Yeah, I actually had a DM. I'm not going to say who it was. I had a DM from somebody on Twitter. And they're like, hey, bro, this is a weird question. And I go, oh, here we go. And they're like, can I get $80 for a my funded futures account or something like that? And my response to them was like, listen, if $80 is a lot of money to you, you should definitely not be trading. Like, just don't even consider trading right now. If $80 is a lot of money to you, you should definitely not be in the markets, because there's no way that you're going to be able to stomach going through the P&L swings of what it takes to be proficient in this game. I told him straight up, I said, listen, if $80 is a lot of money to you, stop trading right now and get out and find a way to do something else. You want to come back to trading when $80 is like a laughable amount to you. You're like, oh, $80, who cares? And that's just being real. And I'm not trying to call anybody out or make fun of anybody, but I'm just saying, like, I'm from the camp that I don't think you should be trading if you think $80 is a significant amount of money. Because what's going to happen is that you're going to be profitable in a trade that can make you $10,000 and be closing it at $800 because you're so worried about the money. And then you're going to give up on a good trade opportunity like that. And then when a trade is going against you, you're going to be bargaining and reasoning with yourself and keeping that trade open and then blowing an account. That's just not the way to be trading. Trading is going to be here for a very long time. I promise you. And I get it. Like, I get the desperation of like, oh, dude, if I just had $80, like I was trading so well last month. If I just had $80 right now, I bet you I could trade well again and I could get a payout and that would fix all my problems. Like, dude, trading is not a solution to your financial problems. It's not. Never going to be. Trading is a very difficult thing to do, and it's extremely stressful. You talk to people like that were professional traders, like at Lehman Brothers, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, Wells Fargo. You talk to people who are professional traders at those trade desks. Not the sales guys. I'm talking about the people who were the traders for these large institutions. A lot of them quit because of the stress, and they're not even trading their own money. You find like the top reason of why those big traders quit, it's because of the stress, and they're not even trading their own money, dude. If you think that trading is ever not going to be stressful, you're out of your freaking mind. I've been trading for 10 years, and I experience stress from trading all the time. All the time. I'm consistently profitable, and I still experience tons of stress when it comes to trading. So if you think like trading is going to be like the answer to your financial problems, yeah, right, dude. It is not even close. You need to be in a financial place where trading should be like an expensive hobby to start, and then you learn to get good at it. Props are a great way to get into trading, but again, I go back to like that $80 thing. Like, if $80 is a lot for you to be spending on a challenge, like, dude, it's not the right time to be interacting with trading right now. Because you're going to be looking at trading as like this lottery ticket of like, this is going to be solving all of my financial problems. It doesn't exist like that. Like, you think like, oh, you're going to get good at trading and all of a sudden it's easy and like you don't have any financial stress from it. Yeah, right, dude. Seriously, look it up. Like, look at what the top reason why professional traders quit. And I'm talking about traders that are not trading their own money. I'm not talking about independent traders. Go look up what is the top quitting reason for traders at Wells, Morgan, Goldman, Lehman. What was the other? The brothers, Lehman Brothers. And then there was another one. What was the other bank that failed? Fannie Mac, wasn't it? Freddie Mae, Fannie Mac. Look at why all of these traders quit their jobs. Bear Stearns, yeah. Look at what the top quitting reason is, and I guarantee you it's stress. It's not because they're not good traders. It's stress. When I first started trading, I had businesses at the time that were generating a tremendous amount of income, and I lost a ton of money A lot of that money that I put in, if I needed that money to survive, I wouldn't have survived. Obviously, it like made me a little bit more flippant with the cash that I was putting into trading in the start, but it allowed me to learn trading, interacting with the markets at a real level, you know? Yeah, don't trade your 401k either. Don't try to go trade your 401k. Like if you have a job, one of the reasons why I hate like Reddit and Wall Street bets is because of those stories that I see. Like people have like a stable job. They have a 401k. Let's say they have like 100 grand into their 401k. And then they go and they read like Wall Street bets and they see these people who are like YOLOing into these calls or, you know, very risky options plays. And then they take those trades and then they blow their 401k. And it's like, dude, now what? You just completely ruined your entire future. I've seen so many people, like Market Clubhouse started when we were doing options trading. We didn't have props when we first started Market Clubhouse. And I saw people that would come in and they'd be really slow with it, like aiming for like, I want to make an extra $100 a day. And I saw so many people come in and they'd have like that $10,000 day. And then all of a sudden, a month later, they're completely wiped out because they had a $10,000 profitable day. They came in, they're like, I want to make an extra $100 or $200 a day. And then boom, they get a $10,000 day and it's like they're hooked on that idea that they're now going to be making 10 grand a day. Gone. Show your SVP HD settings. Yeah. I mean, these are just mine. Value area volumes at 70. I'm extending everything but the POC to the right. And then there's my style settings. You can go back and pause the YouTube video if you want. Value area up and down. I have 100% opacity on both those. And then I have the volume set to total there, which is important. Yeah, no problem. JK says, oh man, super late today, baby. Woke up with a fever. I thought I was going to miss you. I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully, baby gets a speedy recovery there. Pie says, I'm trading RBOB from now on, and the price actions are so clean. Thanks to D for the recommendations. Nice. Yeah, just because we trade NASDAQ on here doesn't mean it's going to be the right flavor of ice cream for you. A lot of people trade the NASDAQ and think like that's the only thing to trade out there. There's so many things that you could trade in the futures markets. And a lot of people will never be successful trading the NASDAQ because it's just doesn't plug in with the way that their brain works. So always try to find a product that you can fit in with. And this is why I always say extensively test. Oh my gosh, I can't speak this morning. Extensively test other products out there and see what works best for the way that your mind works. Luciano says, I've been trading for 5 years full time. I found your channel and we have, missed that one. We have so much the same style. I trade personal account, you profit and Apex. I was looking into TopStep and I really like thinking on switching. Yeah, try them all out. See what works best for you. Tips your 2570 slapped again for another nice scalpacito. Nice work there, Thomas. Way to go. I want to be a trader like you, Rips. Give me an advice, please. It's easy. You got to spend a lot of time. I was very unsuccessful in my first 3 years of trading. Very unsuccessful. But I wasn't ever going to give up. I liked it too much. And I had the finances to carry myself through it. But it's going to take a long time to be successful at trading. I'm sure there are people out there too that will never make it as traders. There has to be a statistic on that even if you spent 10 years doing it, there might just be no hope for you. And again, I'm not going to blow sunshine up your ass, but I mean, I'm just letting you know, like, there is a good chance that some of you out there that are trying to trade probably will never make it. And it's not because you're stupid. It's not because you're not talented enough. It's because either you're going to run out of time or money, frustrated, and maybe it just never works out for you. I like trading a lot. I understand like it can be very profitable at times. It can also be very psychologically hurtful at times. Like you're going to go through a lot of pain psychologically, but I enjoy the challenge of it. And I enjoy that we have a new opportunity every single day. And it's like a new thing to observe and interact with. It's like why chess is so addicting I enjoy playing chess. It's very addicting. No games are ever the same unless you're like practicing a certain open against somebody who's also practicing like defense on that open. Then you're going to have a lot of the same first like 15, 20 moves or so, depending on the lines that you're exploring. But for the most part, most games that you play of chess are going to be extremely unique. Same thing with trading. Every single trading day is a unique new experience for me. And that's what brings me back to it. And that's what draws me back into trading every single day. I really enjoy the uniqueness of it, and I enjoy the mental challenge of it. Let's see. Is that a dome heat map? Is there anything similar to that for free to test on TV? This is free. SVP HD. If you want to see the settings, just go back and pause the video. Sniper says, I'm going to make it. I was infantry 8 years. Trading is a challenge I love. Yeah, if you love trading, if you absolutely love trading, chances are you will be one of the lucky ones who makes it. And I use that word lucky kind of jokingly because it's not luck. You're going to put a lot of effort into it, a lot of time into it. And one of the things that I've found through a lot of professional traders out there, people who have worked on Wall Street before, they all sort of say the same thing, that if you do spend, a long time in front of the charts, for a long enough time, your brain is going to pick up on certain patterns and you're going to learn how to trade around those patterns. Straight up. You will find a way to learn and absorb those patterns and trade around those patterns, and things will eventually click. I think it's a lot easier than people make it out to be, in the sense that if you can get control of your emotions of stopping to try to be like, I want to make profit, and just go back to what we were talking about just moments ago, which is like, figure out what your downside risk is and control your downside risk. The profit will come if you're doing that, because like, look, even if you're just like 50-50, if you're letting your winners be more profitable than your losers, if you're a 50-50 trader, which is like flipping a coin, you're going to be profitable in the long run if you're cutting your losing trades short. Frame your mindset to go for losing first. Like, I'm going to be the best loser on the planet. Frame your mindset for that. You'd be so shocked. Adam says, I love trading. It's been a year and becoming consistently break even. So far, so good. It took me 3 years to get to the break even stage. 3 years where I was like winning, losing, winning, losing, winning, losing, but the average was like flat. That was my experience in my third year of trading. And then after that was like, finally it started to trend upwards. But it was like a mission, dude. A mission. No, it says, I love trading, but lately I don't have time to trade. I just keep an eye on it. Watch the stream every day because you never know when I can get back into it. See, that's great. I took a long break from trading too. I took about 6 months away from trading when I was super frustrated and I thought I was never going to come back. But I loved the game so much that I came back to it. And I'm happy that I did. A lot of the problems that people have from trading all come from within. It's not the market that's difficult. It's you that is difficult, that can't change. You have to make a lot of personal adjustments in order to be good at trading, in my opinion. A lot of personal things need to be changing. And until you step up and make those changes, it's going to continue to be difficult. Andrew says, do you remember how many different strategies you tried before you found momentum trading? See, like my strategy is cooked up from my own trial and error, really. Like I never read a book on momentum trading. I got my fingers dirty. I pressed a lot of buttons and I had a lot of money lost. That was how I became proficient at trading. I didn't really watch videos back in the day when I first started trading. It was 2013, 2014. There wasn't like, YouTube wasn't extremely popular at the time, and there wasn't like, YouTube is great now because you could just open up YouTube and look up trading strategies and everything like that. Pre-COVID too, there wasn't as many traders as we have now as far as like retail traders. COVID brought in a lot of retail traders. There's definitely a bunch of retail traders, but it wasn't like insanely accessible as it is now. And again, this is all my own personal experience. But the way that I taught myself to trade was trial and error. And I probably tried, I don't know if you could call it like strategies, but I used a lot of indicators. I read a lot of books. I was just kind of like spinning my wheels, you know, looking for things. So for me personally, it wasn't like I tested like, oh, I was trying this strategy. Like it was a mix of like support and resistance, supply and demand, technical analysis, momentum, order flow, like seeing all of these different things and trying to combine them into some type of strategy. And, you know, is what it is. Screen time for the win. Exactly right. Screen time is what changed everything for me. Spending a lot of time. Like Bookmap, I taught myself by watching it and watching it and watching it, and then going back and watching replays with the gift of hindsight. That was the way that I taught myself how to read Bookmap. Hours and hours and hours. And I tell you, every like 2 weeks, I'm like, yes, I finally figured out Bookmap. And then I'd be like so certain that a certain move was going to happen watching Bookmap. I'd take a move and it'd be like complete opposite of what I thought. And I was like, dang it, I have no idea what I'm looking at still. And I mean, still, like I'll be using Bookmap to guide my trades and I'll get tons of false positives, you know? I'll get tons of false positives and I'll still be sitting there and be like, dude, I thought I knew what I was doing. There's never going to be like a 100% guarantee that you're going to make money on a trade. You're never going to have a 100% guarantee that, oh, this is always going to do exactly what I think it's about to do. Because the markets are dynamic. There's movement based on the participants of that market. And if somebody's going to come along and do something that you weren't expecting, there's nothing you could do to predict that, because unless you're the person in control firing $10,000 or 10,000 lots into the NQ, you know, you're really at the mercy of the market, you know? But you can find ways to read patterns and guide yourself through things to have a good idea of what's going to happen. But as long as, look, if you're managing your risk on a given trade, well, then you're going to do well with it, because you're always going to control your downside. Do you think those platforms that have heat maps or Bookmap knockoff is as good as Bookmap, just better? Maybe. I haven't really used them, but I'm assuming like they've had enough time to copy Bookmap now, right? Oh, we are motoring back up to the top side. Looks like the lows were that 560 level. We are now trading 50 handles higher. Pelosi win rate 100%, although she is down like 14% on Nvidia, right? Is she not? See, you know the markets are hard when our girl Pelosi is losing. You know it. You know it's difficult. She reloaded on the dip. She sold Nvidia a couple weeks ago. Wow, she is the best. She shorted it the day before. Thank you, G&M. Thank you very much. The tunes are from... It's royalty-free music, so I don't get cocked up by YouTube. Cock-blocked. Banana says, I've been gambling a 100K FTMO account. I'm up 8.5%. It's just a matter of time before I blow it. Some people deserve to lose in trading, get hurt, and get hurt bad. You must learn. Baba. Maybe. I mean, it sounds like a little bit of self-sabotage. Hopefully you can stop gambling and get to trading, you know? That's what I'd like to see, personally. Let's see here. Rips with the licks of pure market analysis and trader psychology. The best. Thank you, Barefoot. Appreciate you. Her China contact gave her the DeepSeek heads up. Yeah, you know, what's crazy to me is that a hedge fund developed that. I mean, if I'm in that hedge fund, I'm going to lie about how much it cost. Like, who's going to come and get me? The Chinese government? Yeah, right. I'm going to lie about how much it costs, and I'm going to buy some puts on NVIDIA and all of the semis. I'm going to short the pants off of Soxel, go long on Sox S, and then get a bunch of money. I mean, it seems like an easy trade, right? Doesn't that seem like the easiest trade on the planet? Like, cause some pandemonium? Like, what did NVIDIA race off of their MCAP? Like $600 billion, $500 billion, right? $500 billion erased from their MCAP. Seems like a pretty easy trade to me. I'm just saying. Original Jeff, good to see you. Says story out this morning that says there's proof that DeepSeek used OpenAI to train the model. Oh, that's hilarious. I feel like the overreaction was swift, but that's the thing about momentum is that, like, look, if everybody's, you don't want to be the last one into the panic, right? And that goes for anything, even if it's unwarranted panic. If you're in the markets and you're controlling large positions, and especially if you're managing client money, you need to be first into the panic, not the last into the panic, because you're going to get booty blasted if you're the last one into the panic. And so when you have something like what we saw with DeepSeek, if you're the last one into the panic, you're going to lose the most. So you have to panic with everybody else, and which is why I think we saw such an outpaced selling move. Have we filled the gap yet? No, we haven't even filled the gap on NVIDIA yet. We're still trading 125 and change right now. But you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're the last one into the panic, you're going to be the most booty blasted participant. So you have to join the panic, and that creates a momentum, which is why we saw what we saw. Microsoft is not feeling that panic. Google's kind of out of the weeds now. Apple went continually up to the upside. Meta is all-time highs. So I feel like there's an opportunity for NVIDIA, Google, and the S&P, triple Qs, SPY, NQ, all of that to recover still. And I think that today could be that day where we see that, you know? Just bought the panic? Yeah. I mean, if you bought leaps on NVIDIA when it was buried down at 120, everybody's like, oh, I'm going to buy it at 100. Yeah, so does everybody else. Everybody else wants to buy it at 100. You think it's going to get down there? I don't know. Maybe we see today. Sonny says, so apparently DeepSeek has 50K NVIDIA chips that cost 1.5 billion, but the total cost to develop the AI is only 6 million. Yeah. It's crazy that, like Nigel said in here, he says, I'm pretty shocked more people aren't talking about it being created by a hedge fund. It's pretty hilarious. And again, like, you can't get mad at the panic, but you can get mad at the analysis that this wasn't done for a profitable move from a trading perspective. I think they wiped out 600 billion, which is $500 billion. High Flyer, is that the name of the hedge fund? Yeah, I mean, dude, if you bought puts and then you released that news, you made so much money. Ollie says, Ribs, if you don't mind me asking, would you mind sharing the benefits of Clubhouse? I really like your trading style and want to observe it more before I implement it into mine. Just stick around for these free streams. That's plenty. No reason in joining. Just stick around for the free stuff. Free is a lot cheaper than paid, in my opinion. Maybe they had a bear position open. I mean, if they didn't, then they're the worst hedge fund on the planet. Like, if they're the ones who created this pandemonium panic move and they didn't have a position on it, I promise you that they're the worst hedge fund in the world. Like, the worst. They should stop right now, because that was the easiest layup trade that you've ever seen, because they're the ones who generated that panic move. So you have to assume that they probably took that. You know what I mean? Let's run a quick poll here for what we think is going to happen. Will the NQ end the day above or below? Let's do 21,750. Above, below. Actually, I'm going to do 21,950. All right, go ahead and vote. Let's see. Is it really that easy to run a hedge fund? I mean, if you're going to be the catalyst for one of the biggest drops that we've seen in recent memory, what was the biggest drawback since like September of 2023 or something like that? Like, it was a 5% down move in the NAS. If you're not barreling in short futures, barreled into NVIDIA puts, barreled into Microsoft puts, like you're a jackalope. You know? Any thoughts about SMCI? I think that we're going to see all chips kind of moving in the same direction. It really is that easy. Look at the profitable days of Goldman versus red days. They make money over 80% of the time. I mean, trading doesn't have to be difficult or complicated. A lot of the traders that I know that, like, I have some friends that are larger traders, and they are, in my opinion, not very classically smart individuals. They aren't good at math. They're very straightforward individuals. They're very confident in themselves, but they aren't like sitting there and like calculating the space-time continuum. They're just straightforward dudes that like are like, yeah, this is undervalued, I'm gonna buy it, or this is overvalued, I'm gonna sell it. Simple as that. And they do really well with trading. One of my most wealthy friends is extremely wealthy, and I don't think that they're not like a good trader in my opinion, but they're killing it in the markets. You know, like they keep things extremely simple. It's just trying to pump and dump. Bros changing their strat, this time dump and pump. Yep. Think about it. You sell the pants off of Nvidia, you short it, you buy puts, you short NASDAQ, you short triple Qs, short Google, short Microsoft, and then you just buy it at these lows. Simple. They're simplifying it, which is important. Exactly. Those are the more you complicate your trading, the harder it's going to be for you. Like, think about it. The market's trending straight up. Like, the market's trending straight up. I'm not saying it is right now, but I'm just saying, like, imagine the day where the market is just trending and it's going and it's going and it's going and it's going. You show that to the trader who's struggling and they're like, I got booty blasted today. And you go, well, how did you get booty blasted? The market went straight up. Well, I kept on trying to pick a top to short, and every single time it pulled back, I thought that was when it was going to pull back. You show that same chart to a 4-year-old and you say, hey, would you want to do something where if the market continues to go up that you make money, or would you want to try to pick where it's going to stop? The 4-year-old's like, will the market go up? You know what I mean? Like, be the 4-year-old trader. Stop trying to pick the tops and be cute with it. Stop trying to be smarter than the market. Market goes up, just go print. Think about back to like when you actually like didn't know how to trade. Those are the times when I look back to like my very first week of trading. Like I was just like, oh yeah, this thing's going up. And then like I bought it and it kept on going up. And it's like the last thing on my mind was like, I want to sell this because I'm in the profit now. I was like, why would I ever sell? It's just like every single time I look, my number's going up. My profit's going up. Why would I ever sell this thing? Like I remember very distinctly back to like my first couple weeks of trading where I was very, very lucky. Market was going straight up and I was long. The thought of like, I need to sell this because I'm green never crossed my mind. I was like, duh, why would I sell? I'm like, it's nonstop printing me money right now and I'm not doing anything. This is the easiest money I've ever made in my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember this very distinctly, my first couple weeks of trading. Why would I ever get out? Like, this is the easiest money I've ever made in my life. Like, all I did was click a button and this thing is just you know? You ask a toddler about that. Like, what's the market doing? Echo up. Why sell? Oh, goodness. There's something there, though. I'm telling you, there's something there. The more you simplify your trading, the better you're going to do. It's true. You're making that rumor you were in a hedge fund sound very convincing right now. I don't even know how that started, but no. Never worked for a hedge fund. I have friends that have, or do still, but never once have I worked at a hedge fund. Trading is immensely complicated and ironically the simplest if you do the reps and keep at it. True. How did you hold on to that trade for so long? I don't know. The beep boop money, green, go. it made sense to hold it because it kept on printing money for me. And then you try to go back to that person who was like that first couple weeks of trading, and it's like, oh my God, I'm green for the first time in 2 weeks. I got to take this down. And then it keeps going. And the moment you get back in, it has its first pullback. You get out, you lose all your profit on the day, and then it goes straight back up. And you're like, I hate this. Oh, trading. It's like, you know, just to show an example, like let's imagine that you were like short right here, and then you covered, and it keeps on going down. You're like, okay, I'm gonna short it right here. And then you covered again, and then you're like, all right, fine, you know what? I'm gonna trade real size. And you're like, I'm gonna short biggest size ever right here. And then the market goes, and you're like, what happened? I was short from here, and then I got scared. You know? That's a common problem I see with traders right there. That's a very common one. In, out, and then you get all the confidence in the world when you shouldn't have it. You should have all the confidence in the world when you first put on your trade because you believe in the idea. All right, everybody, we got 12 minutes till the market opens. I'm going to go ahead and end the poll right here and now. We are looking at... Give me the results, YouTube. Come on. It doesn't want to give me the results of the poll for some reason. What's going on? Is my chat frozen or something? What the heck? Okay, there we go. 43% say above, 33% say below, 23% say no clue. There we go. All right, everybody. Well, I'm going to continue watching the market with my folks in Clubhouse. I hope you all have a blessed day today. Be careful, it's FOMC. I would say probably stay away from it. Trade the afterglow tomorrow. But hey, if you're feeling frisky enough, hey, trade it. See what happens. Try to have some confidence today in your trades. And remember, frame your trades from the loss side first. Think about how much you can lose on that trade. So if you do lose it, you're not expecting like any surprises. You plan for it. Plan for the worst. See what happens on the best side of things, okay? All right, everybody, take care. See you bright and early tomorrow when we talk about jobless claims at 8 o'clock in the morning, Eastern time. Take care, everybody.